All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Back to Viz Basics how-to. This is going to be for our week 5 challenge of building a scatter plot. I apologize. I'm a little bit under the weather today. Also had some technical difficulties getting the live stream up today. So just bear with me. It might be a little bit quicker today just because of my voice, but let's get right into our demo for today. So before we hop into Tableau to actually work with our data. Just a reminder, everything that you need to know for our Back to Viz Basics project can be found on our website right here. We have all of our previous challenges listed. We talk about how to participate. If you're not sure which tool to use or anything about a data community project, basically we started this project to kind of have an entryway for those that are newer to working with data visualization tools. Or for those that are more experienced that want to kind of solidify their foundational skills. So all of our challenges are posted every 2 weeks. We always list some tips and tricks. We will do this how-to video, and all of our challenges are kind of focused on one single thing at a time. Nothing that's too complex or really complex data sources either. So as you can see here, our challenges for this year so far are focusing on just small little charts. So build a bar chart, build a multiple line chart, visualize change over time. And this week, like I said, we are working on scatter plots. Everything that you need to know is on the Tableau Student Guide website under the Back to Viz Basics tab right here. Excuse me. All right. And then don't forget to submit your tracker or your submission into our Google form here. This populates a dashboard that lives on my Tableau public profile. This is a great way to see all of the submissions, keep track of your progress if you're trying to hit a goal for participation. And then it's also great to see, we're all working with the same data every other week, but we all visualize things differently. So it's great to kind of see how someone can take the same data and visualize it in a different way than what you did. So this is a great resource just to check, maybe 20 different ways that someone built a bar chart. So go ahead and check this out and make sure that you share your submissions in our tracker and on social media as well. All right, so our data for this week, like I said, we're building a scatter plot, one of my favorite charts. They're super easy because we can, they're great to work with because we can compare two measures, and it gives us a lot of insights into our data. So I really love playing around with them, and today I'm going to take us through kind of my go-to when it comes to scatter plots, just to really make them interactive. And we're pulling data from this Kaggle data set that we found. So it pulls phone specifications, mobile phone specifications, and prices from the Gadget 360 website. So we have a lot of kind of data here that we're working with. We're going to kind of play around with all these metrics. So we probably get battery capacity, processor, RAM, internal storage. We're going to play around with those metrics and kind of see how they compare across our different models and brands. All right, so enough talking and housekeeping stuff. Let's get right into our demo here. So I have my data pulled in. I'm just going to do a quick check here to make sure that all of my fields are coming in correctly. I can see here that all of my measures are coming in as measures, and all of my string fields are coming in as dimensions string data types. So everything looks good here. I'm just going to hop into our first sheet. Excuse me, sorry, I hate to keep doing that, but like I told you, a little sick here, but trying to push through. All right, so first things first, I'm just going to bring out, let's work with our RAM. I'm going to drop that on rows, and then I'm going to drop my battery capacity on, we'll do battery capacity on columns. All right, right now we just get one dot. The reason that this happens is because this is summing everything in our data set. So this is kind of our total. So this is our total sum of battery capacity and RAM. Now this is not, it's right, but it doesn't give us any insights into our data, right? So we need to start to break this out. And that's where this detail mark on our marks card comes into handy. So let's take out our model and put that onto detail. All of a sudden we get a lot of different circles, and then maybe we can add our brand to color. Actually, let me just take a look here to make sure. So we have that's our ID fields. I'm just trying to remember our data here. So we have our brand and we have our model. Yep, so different models of phone fall under different brands. Yep, like we got all the different Apple products here. Perfect. Okay, so we have all of our different models here. So this is all of our different phones. Maybe see, I think if we bring ID onto here, that's probably a little bit better. So that way every single every single model and brand has a unique ID. So I probably bring ID onto detail. Maybe we can bring our brand onto color. Now that kind of is a lot of different colors, but maybe we don't roll with that. But as you can see, this is my simple scatter plot here. So we can kind of change these metrics out for whatever we would like to kind of see here. So maybe we change our battery capacity to our price in USD. So now we can look at our price here. Probably want to add some more details to our tooltip. All right, so here I'm looking at the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. Looks like our price is about $2,100. My RAM is about 8 megabytes, I believe. 8,000 megabytes. Seems a little high, I guess. Maybe we need to change this. Oh no, okay, 8,000 megabytes. Is that? I'm not exactly sure what RAM is measured in. I would probably have to go back and look at our data dictionary a little bit more. But as you can see here, right, this is how we're able to really add a lot of detail. So when we get all these different marks on here, though, it's hard to add. Probably like adding labels is a little tricky, right? We start to get way too many things going on here. So I tend to really utilize our tooltip here. So that's where we would want to update our tooltip to be really clean. And I wouldn't use just this standard tooltip that we see here. I would definitely want to go in and kind of clean this up and make it a little bit more user-friendly. All right, so one of the things that I like to do is really make the scatter plot dynamic. And what do I mean by that? Well, right now it's static, right? It's working with just the measures that we have here. So the way that I like to elevate this is by using parameters. So I'm going to take us through just how we can quickly do this and really add a lot of interactivity for our users so they can kind of create the custom story that they want. All right, so let's go ahead and create our parameter first. This is just going to be let's call this our y-axis. And I'm just going to number these. So this will be our display is going to be our battery capacity. I'm only going to do a few here. Let's do 2 as our price USD. I'm in the United States here. 3. Let's do our processor. 4, we'll do RAM. And 5, let's do, we'll just do, I guess, maybe screen size. I don't know. That one might be a little iffy, but all right, we'll stick with those 4. So that's my y-axis. Okay, change the data type to an integer because we're working with integers here. Our display as, that's what we're going to show in the parameter. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this because I want to use the same thing for my x-axis. And then let's see, maybe we duplicate this one more time and we change this to be size. This is maybe like a bonus one that we would definitely want to consider on the situation here. All right, so now we create our parameter. That's step 1. Step 2, let's create our calculated fields to talk to those parameters. So this is going to be our y-axis calc. Going to do a case statement. So case our y-axis when 1 is selected, then sum our battery capacity. When 2 is selected, keyboard's a little slow here, then sum our, what we did, price USD, right? When 3, then sum, if I could type here, our processor. When 4, then sum our RAM. And when 5, then sum our screen size. And then we wrap that with an end. So that's our calculation here. All right, now we're just going to duplicate this. That's our y-axis calc. Let's duplicate this for our x-axis. But this time we need to change the parameter that it's talking to. So change this to an x. So it's talking to our x-axis parameter. And then we're going to duplicate it one more time for our size. Okay. All right, so we have our 3. Now we're just going to replace our different fields here with those different parameters. So our y-axis is going to go on columns because that's here. Our x-axis is going to go on rows. That's here. Remove the RAM. And then well, let's just save size for now. Right now, we're just getting 1 dot because our parameters are exactly the same. Let's go ahead and update our tooltip too, just so this is a little bit cleaner. So let's put our brand here first, and let's put our model right next to that. Maybe we just put our operating system below, and then let's put in our values here. So we're going to have our y-axis, our x-axis, and then we need to put in those labels. So our y-axis calc. Oh, I need to add those to our tooltip here. And our x-axis calc. All right, so now we can add them to our tooltip. So y and y, x and x. Let's just want to clean this up a little bit. I can click on a preview here just to see what that looks like. So maybe we have our brand and phone underlined. Maybe we bold these a little bit. Maybe we just bold all of the actual values. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. All right, let's go ahead and add our parameters now. Let's just change ones to price USD. Oops, I think I have these switched here. There we go, I got our y-axis. All right. Huh, now that is not working exactly how I was hoping. We should have different values here for everything. Take a look at our calcs here. So x-axis. Let me remove our sums here. Maybe I'm messing something up. I love when I do things live and they don't actually turn out the way that they're supposed to. What am I doing wrong here? Go to a different sheet. All right, so if I bring out battery capacity and our price USD and we add our ID to detail, all right, everything splits out. It should be exactly the same here. So our x-axis and y-axis, say battery capacity, price USD. Our y onto rows, x onto columns. There we go. All right, now this is working. Not exactly sure why our sheet here isn't working correctly. It should be. Oh, I think because I have the parameters up there, that's why. It should be our calculations. Oh man, see, this being sick is really getting to me here. All right, so now as you can see here, we have our ID of our phones. Let me go back to our worksheet that has the nice formatted tooltip here. And now as I change these parameters, right, it's kind of giving me like a dynamic view. Okay, so our screen size, I need to take a look at that calculation there, but probably shouldn't be using that one. But now I can compare our different metrics here. So now looking at our processor and our RAM, I can kind of see where all of our different phones fall. Our battery capacity and our price USD, right? This is the one that I really like to see because it's kind of showing me, okay, here's our Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, looking at our comparing battery capacity and price USD. I do like that we can change this custom title. So we can change this to be our y-axis value by double clicking into our axis. This is a neat feature that Tableau added a few years ago. So now as I change my parameters, the labels will update as well. So I really like that feature. And finally, if you remember, we added a size calculation. So, maybe this is just some extra detail that you want to add, but we can add our size calc on here and also add our size parameter. Maybe we turn these into circles. Maybe our brand gets a color. I don't know, maybe too many different brands here. Bring down the opacity a little bit. All right. So maybe, I kind of don't like the using brand on color there. It's a lot. But right now, as we change our size, now the size of our circles are going to change as well. So now I'm comparing our battery capacity to our price to our RAM. Sometimes this works, but kind of giving our users to fully change in between the different options with our scatter plots is always a really neat feature. Another thing that we could do is maybe change some of our calculations to averages where we're comparing brands. So we could add our brands to a parameter, and that's what could be changing the detail within our chart. Right now, every circle represents a specific phone, but we could always aggregate things differently like that. So totally flexible. This is one of my favorite chart types. It really allows you just to show how two different measures can compare to each other. Adding in the parameters allows you to really allow the user to kind of create a dynamic story of what they want to compare. So really great features with our scatter plots. And when you get into just formatting with colors and sizes and adding trend lines and things like that, different quadrants, you can really create a really interesting dynamic view here with scatter plots. So that is all that we have time for today. So thank you again for joining. Like I said, we do these how-tos with every single challenge that we put out. So if you're kind of struggling on where to start or what to work with, or just want to learn more about different chart types, I try to go through as much as I can in just a short amount of time so these videos aren't too long. Thank you for bearing with me today, just through any technical difficulties as well as my cold that I have here. If you have any questions about B2VB basics, please reach out. If you have any data or suggestions, please submit it through our website. If there's anything you want to focus on, we would love to know that so we can create a challenge around that. Finally, we are going to be doing a B2VB Basics Live at Tableau conference, so really excited for that session. More to come on that, so if you're going to be at Tableau, make sure you attend. It'd be great to meet all of you that participate in our project in person. And finally, don't forget to submit and share your work online and in our tracker. It is the only way that we can kind of keep track of who's participating and just trying to help you reach your goals as you try to go throughout the year competing in these different challenges that we have. I use the word competing. It's not a competition. But thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time.